All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another session. We have an unusual number of people here. People are just requesting to join. Welcome back. My name is Natalia Luniva, and I have here a couple of my co-founders, Pankil and Serkan. And today, aside from our regular quick walkthrough and Q&A, we're also going to do a big reveal, something that Pankil was talking about a little bit during the last meeting. So this meeting, he's going to dive into a little bit deeper.
So hey guys, my name is Pankil, co-founder at Outranking.io. And today I am super excited to show you guys the next level of content or SEO content building with automation, GPT-3, and tons of new features that are coming up in the new release. So let's jump into one of our staging servers, and you can see there's tons of keywords over here. Let's go ahead and edit it. Okay, so this is the content that you're going to be writing. So let's say, for example, you have this title and you want to build content based on that. You don't have a meta description right now. You don't have anything, absolutely nothing. And you want to start getting to build your content. So what you right now do is you go to instructions, you find out the relevant keywords, some ideas, and then you build your meta title or meta description based upon it. What we are doing in this new AI feature, you will see that AI thing on top has gone. And we have built out an extensive AI capability that can do tons and tons of things. So what it can do is it can create SEO optimized meta description based on the research that we have suggested. We are training these models to spit out content that is very close to what you'd create in terms of meta description. Sure, it might not be 100% perfect, but it's going to be so close that you can start building upon it. So what I can do is let's just go ahead and create generate, and it build out some meta description. Okay, so this is going to be SEO optimized, but it is too long, right? Like you can see that it is more than 160 characters. You can then go and refine it a little bit and make sure that, so look at this meta description. It has all relevant keywords in it that we needed to target. So it has built out a description that aligns with the user intent. Might not be perfect, but you can go and edit some of this thing. So this is talking about a deco group. So let's delete this maybe and try one more time. There we go. So it'll keep giving you ideas on what your meta description is. And in most cases, it's going to be SEO optimized because we are feeding keywords into it. We're trying to build out description and many of the SEO elements using AI rewrite. You'll be able to build out outlines, answer any questions. So how to use, okay, so this is a very complex. So let's say how to train a dog. I could select this and I can say, answer the question. It will go ahead and answer the question in a short and precise way. Now, let's say you can also build upon it, but let's say if you are trying to optimize this for a feature snippet, you can select this content and you can generate a feature snippet sort of content. So it'll give you a list view of how to train your dog. So reward system, alternative to punishment. So you can kind of adhere to this guidelines and start building content upon it. We're constantly tuning it as well. So it will get super fast. Like you can see, this one is really faster than the version that we launched recently. This can also write short or long form content based on what you feed it into. So let's say I wanted to write short. It will start building out a short paragraph with 400 characters talking about how to train a dog. So let's just see. There we go. And this is using GPT-3 top-notch Da Vinci model to collect the best data that's out there. So you can obviously go and rewrite some of these things and or adjust it according to how you want it. But so you understand the capabilities that we're trying to bring here is that you can list out your entire outline and you can start building your content around it. It can be anything, absolutely. So let's go to sections and copy and paste a couple of sections. So here, okay, so hiring product manager job description. Let's add that to the outline. I probably don't need this, or I just want to answer this. So I want to elaborate and I want to create content around it. So let me go select this and write long or write short. So let's write long. There we go. So sometimes, yeah, so this is still learning from the algorithm, but you can start building upon it by feeding it as much content as you want and then rewriting again. It will keep expanding into the detailed content. So if your questions and the selections are very precise, the output that it will give is going to be also very precise. So for example, like if you have questions which are very right on, like what does a product marketing manager do? Let's copy and if you were to expand a content like this, it would generate very good description because the context of the question is very clear. Okay, so let's go generate long form. There we go. Our editor is also compatible with Grammarly. So that's why you can see that it is suggesting that, it might be good to add a comma here or stuff like that. So just a side note, but it can help you build out the entire content within the platform, optimize it for feature snippets, write long form, write short, answer questions. We're also working on outline. This is not currently ready yet, but we're working on it and we are hoping to release that as well in the next release. But it's meta description, answering questions, featured snippets, writing short, writing long, rewriting sentences also using GPT-3 is all going to be available in the platform with the release launch. So now this is like the only platform where you can actually create SEO content, write using GPT-3 and optimize using some industry best practices, related keyword data. So all combined together, one platform to help you do pretty much everything that you do for writing. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. It is still in staging and we're working like day and night to get this out next week. And we're constantly also trying to do different iterations and train the model. So the outputs it give are amazing for any industry that you do. So for example, like the reason why some of the content that you guys generate from other places are, like off topic or very broad or not specific enough is because they're not trained with existing data, right? What we have is we have the power of Serp analysis. So we have all the data that we need to feed this AI and tell it, hey, this is what we have and I want to go better than that. So how do I get there? And that is how we're building it out. So we're not taking shortcuts and trying to give you data that is just randomly generated, but it is actually built upon statistical analysis and benchmarks that we have collected through the platform. So it will only get better as we keep going. But basically, what's with this launch, we're hoping that a writer should be able to get that first draft in less than 1 hour at the max.
Okay, we're getting a bunch of questions from people asking basically the same question, which is AI works with your current 50,000 character limits. That is going to be a lot because you just tried and rewritten multiple times, right? So what are our options here to increase the character limits?
Okay, so it's going to be a few things. I'm going to make a small announcement where it is, if you guys give us testimonies, will increase the limit a certain amount. So that's the first step. But there's going to be many incentives coming up down the line that will help you make maximum amount of characters that anybody can get from a free plan. So what we are really trying to do is not give you, not handicap you and not give you more characters, but we want to do something that can help you guys and help us as well. So we're trying to build out that strategy. And if even after accumulating all of those credits, if you don't have enough, you can buy an add-on, which will be far more cheaper than what the price of actual product is going to be out there. You are going to have the prime advantage of getting into the deal right now. You will always be using all the features and AI and all of the new things that we bring to the platform. It's all going to be available 100%. The only limit is characters is because a huge cost is associated with running OpenAI and making the GPT-3 work, right? So it has to be feasible. We don't want to be bankrupt, right? So we're going to charge you a little bit to, if you have an extended need for characters.
Nisha is asking, is this a lifetime deal? Yes, we're currently still running a lifetime deal, which is about to end either today or tomorrow. Let's see. Someone is asking, I hope that you are not launching on AppSumo. No plans to launch on AppSumo, okay? Why not change characters to words, Pankil?
Oh, because you're charged based on characters. So if I was to do words, and let's say your language is something where something can be communicated in just 2 characters, it would be unfair to you compared to other people who take 6 or 7 or 8, 10 characters in order to write the same exact word. So in order for us to be consistent across the board, we get charged based on characters and tokens. So it's obvious, that we can do the similar kind of thing, because then, you're not going to go and count each word, right? It's just not a good measurement to go based upon. And also it slows down the system because then your input and output, you have to count every word. So it increases latency as well. So we need to keep track of that as well, right? So it's easier to just throw everything and collect the statistics around it instead of analyzing it and going bits and pieces and then finding the data and putting it in the database. So it makes sense in terms of user experience, in terms of not being partial, and in terms of cost.
We are right about time to get one of our speakers today. We have Reid Florin, who is, I don't know if you been to a couple of groups, but Reid is sharing like so much of his knowledge and creating so many videos that are still helpful. And in different groups, like especially for some content AI groups, like people say, if you have questions, go check out Reid's videos. So we have Reid here to share a few of his tips, how he's tested ranking, and a few of his thoughts. Specifically, I see one question: how does Outranking compare to Conversion and Surfer? And I know that Reid, you've done a lot of reviews there. So number one, welcome to you. Number two, please share with us a couple of tips.
Well, thanks for having me on today. So how this really compares with Outranking, you are really creating the outline for your content, and you're researching what you want for your content. Now, Conversion AI doesn't have anything like that built in at the current time. So that's what I like about Outranking, because I feel that if you have kind of garbage in, you're going to get garbage output for when you're creating content. So if you have a good outline and you have it based off of what is working well for your competitors in the search engines, you're going to have better results than if you just kind of wing it. And what I like about Outranking is your tool shows step by step, very easy what to do. It's like 10 or 11 steps of how we are supposed to outline our document, how we're supposed to format our document, and that makes it really beneficial. Now, Surfer SEO does have a few capabilities with that, where you can research your keywords and you can create a content brief and you can figure out how things are going to be SEO optimized. That's really where they shine. So it's a little early to tell the pros and cons of Outranking versus Surfer SEO in my book, but I like how you guys have kind of combined the best of both worlds into one tool, where people are going to be able to do the content writing like you can do in Conversion AI just inside of Outranking. So that is pretty cool. Now, Conversion AI and Surfer do have a partnership where you would have to have subscriptions to both those products, but they do have a way where you can access your content briefs inside of Surfer, and you can do your research inside of Surfer inside of your Conversion AI account. So that they do have a little bit of a like an SEO mode if you have a subscription to both. Now, with Outranking, with this new update that Pankel was just sharing with us, we're going to have kind of one place where we can get access to that. It sounds like there's going to be abilities for us to get more character limits. It sounds like there's going to be one add-on that we could get. Maybe there'd be a way that we can even get unlimited credits at some point. I don't know what the total pricing things will be for this, but I think that'll be a nice time saver for people to have one tool and one subscription, if you will, for access to that. So I guess that's kind of how I feel those really compare at the moment.
Matthias is asking, what about phrase versus Outranking?
So Phrase is nice. Well, the thing that I really like about Phrase is their new feature where they can automatically write your frequently asked questions based off of your competitors' documents. That is a pretty cool feature, and I would like to see that in Outranking. I don't know if you have plans for that yet, but I did just do a video demo of how that works the other day, so you guys can look at that and see how that works. But I would love to see something like that inside of Outranking. Currently with Phrase, it is an outline tool that allows you to research the SEO of your competitors. And they've added an SEO add-on, which is a monthly fee. So people are paying a monthly fee for Phrase, and they're paying another monthly fee for their SEO add-on. And I don't know if they're going to have other add-ons with that. So that is a concern there. I feel like, oh, here we're adding more and more things to it. So I'm a little leery of that. That being said, Phrase is a really nice tool, and it's very mature with how things are going, and they have added some GPT-3 writing capabilities. So they do have a nice product. I'm just concerned with how many more add-ons they may be adding in the future. It kind of seems like they're looking for more things to add at any time as a subscription.
Awesome. Well, Reid, any tips that you'd like to share with the rest of us? How do you consider using Outranking? How would you get the best results out of what you have?
Right. So you should see my screen.
Yes.
All right. So why don't we just have it come up with an idea here? So why don't we just do like make money online, since a lot of people on here are probably interested in that, and we'll have it create some sort of content brief. And why don't we pick something that has some search volume? but not like a ton. So maybe how to make money from Instagram. Let's try that. And I can create a new SEO document. That's fine. And we can go in here. So what I like, your tool makes it really easy to understand what's going on here, where you can see everything that's in your content. So I can go on the instructions here. We got 10 different steps or 11 different steps to do. We can create our meta title so we can get some ideas. So these are pulling from the top, I believe, well, it looks like it's the top 50 different search results or so. So why don't I grab one of those? And I'm actually going to put that here, and we'll see if our score improves a little bit. It's already at 21. Now, what I would do, because that's taking from someone else's page, is I would rewrite that title. So that would be a way to kind of make our own version of that site. And we've rewritten their title. Now we can go and do our meta description. And so I'm going to go in here, and I am going to grab this one, and I'm going to highlight that because I believe that's just taking from someone else's page. I'm going to rewrite it. Okay, so let's see what our score is right now. Okay, I'm going to add some headings. So I'm actually just going to grab the same one as our title, and that'll be our heading. And we'll do some sections here. Now, I am going to grab that one, grab that one, grab that one, and we'll just go with that for now. Well, I might have grabbed some of their additional content. I bet I did. I did. See that real quick here. Forgot that they had multiple things. So I don't need all this information. Do that one. Maybe I'll do like one more. We'll do that. I'll add those outlines. Okay. I'm going to change that to 2021. Let's see if our scores changed any. It's 46 right now. I could add some more sections here. Maybe a frequently asked questions. That might be good. Let's see. I think I'll do that for now. Oh, because I had the other ones saved. There we go. Now I could look at, like, these are from individual web pages. I can also look at our high frequency words if we want. I'll see what our score went up a little bit. Now let's go to questions. So these are our FAQs. So what I would probably do with these are our headings. I would probably rewrite those, and it may be best to rewrite them one at a time.
There's no H1 though. They're all H2s.
Oh, is it? Did I select that as an H2? There we go. There, went up a little. All right, so now we've got questions. Now I'm not going to rewrite the questions. I would probably grab the people also ask ones, just because I'd like to get those snippets. So I would just grab each one as time. I'm not going to do it all while we're on our call here because we have other stuff to hit. But I would just grab as many of these that I found relevant, and then let's see what our score is now. Went up a little bit. I could probably make these. Will H3 tags improve the score?
Yep.
There we go. We're at 74. All right. Now let's go with our keywords for the. So these might be some other keywords to hit. Now there's a few. I think it's going off of our make money online keyword here for some of that. Let's go for Serp Data. We can look at what some of our competitors are doing. So this is a quick way to see what their pages are like. So I don't have to load up each page. I can just kind of see each one. I can expand all. I can do our URL somewhere in here.
There's also this quick feature. So people were asking questions about hey, Phrase is pulling out some relevant content associated with certain keywords on the side. So we have that similar functionality in research. You can either type in the keyword, or you could select a few keywords in the editor, and the research tab will automatically find out the relevant information from the content. So you can type in.
I could do like Instagram. Is that what you're talking about in this area?
Exactly.
If I can spell. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
So there.
Yeah, enter, and it will scroll down and show you all of it. You could also just simply select a word in your editor, 2 to 3 words, and it will go and find that exact information as well.
Very nice. Oh, that's cool. Learn something new.
Similar features for related keywords as well. Like if you're optimizing an H2 and you want to see what other relevant keywords are there, you can just simply go to related keywords and select a keyword on the editor, and it will show you all relevant ones associated with that. So if you can just select Instagram on the editor.
Sure. Yep. I gotcha. So I could just select the word.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
So I could do like make money or something. Got it. Nice. That's pretty cool. I like that. So yeah, then you would take that, and then what I've been doing is I would just put this into Conversion AI. And so I would paste my stuff in. I'll just have it come up with something quick just to show a demo. I know you guys are doing something kind of similar to this coming out, but just to show how writing something works while we're here, I'll just have it do something quick. I'm going to paste my outline that we did, and then I am going to have it, compose for me. I grab one of these questions just so I can show you how that works. Now we're answering a question. So I'm going to take that. I'm just going to copy and paste. Let's just pretend that we wrote a whole article. I'm going to paste that in here. See if our score went up or down any. It went up a little bit to 78 just by adding some more content in here. So that is just a great way to quickly get content done. So that's basically how I quickly use Outranking and Conversion AI to come up with content very quickly. Is you just come up with that outline, you add those frequently asked questions, you use AI to help you answer those questions and help you to write the content for your headlines and your outline there, and then you just SEO optimize it and see how things are, and then you publish it to your site.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Reid. So we have a question here from Matthias, actually a comment. Very cool on how conversion filled the rest. Something like that is coming for Outranking, right? Can we do something like this in Outranking without paying extra $100 a month for conversion?
Oh, hey guys, yeah, sure. You're going to be able to do all of that in here, but we are not going to cater to sales copies and digital ads and stuff like that. We are just strictly SEO content that ranks, right? So yes, we are going to build out that feature. But again, when you generate content from scratch for the whole thing, chances are that 50% of it's going to be garbage. So that is why we have a modular approach on going section by section and building out that content instead of generating that entire long form altogether. So in my opinion, that's not the right way to go about creating content. And Reid would probably agree, like he was building out section by section in Conversion AI as well, right? So some capabilities that we have in terms of creating feature snippets and answering questions to precisely, or with the list or with bullets or unordered list or ordered list. There's plenty of things that we can do based on the data that we have that conversion.ai or any other tool might not be able to do without the SEO added value to it. So when you consider, yeah, sure, you should be able to get rid of any tool eventually that allows you to allows you or assist you in finishing your content. And we will build out as much features and as many templates as we can to help you write things faster.
Can I make some explanation about that? Punk showed that in our staging server, there are some AI written functions, which is answering questions, feeder snips, creating meta descriptions, a long form, a long completion for paragraphs. I think when we roll out all these things, and which is very soon, it will fill out all the gaps about AI written things. Lots of people are asking about lots of questions about AI written articles, limits, something like that. First of all, we don't suggest you to create fully AI written article. Let's say 50% or 20% of article can maybe written by AI tools. So when we creating those limits, we think that people shouldn't create whole document with AI, and then let's say if you have 50,000 character limits, it means that roughly equal to 10,000 words. And if we say average document is about 2,500 words, it means that if you full use AI to create a document with 2,500 words, it means that you can create 4 documents. But if you use 50% AI, it means 8 well-written documents.
I'm really curious to hear everyone's feedback here. We have a few dozen people. So my question is, some people say I need AI rewriting feature. Some people say, hey, focus on only one thing that you're doing really well. And so I'm really curious, can you just put it in the comment for those of you who have another AI writing tool? versus no. So yes or no. Yes, I have a tool. No, I don't need a tool. I don't have a tool, and I'm hoping that Outranking is going to fill that up. Sounds good. But while you were doing that, any other questions for Reid? Or Reid, do you want to add anything? Because don't want to hold up too much of your time, and you are really generous with your time and your expertise. Thank you so much for that, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. Yeah, I agree that adding your own flair and your own content to writing is a better way to do things. But if you put in your own writing, or you start writing a sentence with your personality, that's going to help the AI write better, and it's going to help it write things that are more in line with what you exactly want. And that's also going to help you just create better content and use a lot less credits. You may want to start your sentence out exactly how you want it to be, and then let it add, the next line and the next line inside Outranking. And that is probably the better way to create your content, because you're going to be using a lot less characters, and you're going to be really giving it exactly what direction you want to go. And that way you can steer the ship of the GPT-3 AI writing capabilities and get exactly the content you want, which is going to mean less editing, less characters that you're using, and you're going to be creating content that you're proud of. Everyone on this call is incredibly intelligent. And if you can use the artificial intelligence to help you kind of close the gap and help you, write better content, it's really just going to make things so much easier for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Reid. We also have a Pankil, anything you want to add before, or if you just take any questions, you can go ahead and just run with it.
Yeah, I'm just reading through questions. So any questions?
Shijor is asking, is it possible to integrate with webhook to external AI tools?
So we are open to an open API concept, and we have been brainstorming on it. And yeah, it could be a part of our strategy to allow other platforms to connect with us.
Awesome. Mark is answering the question. I have other tool, but I prefer to use just Outranking. It's logical way of doing things. Sounds good.
Question about rewrite. It should suggest it and not replace when clicking rewrite. Right, that's possible, but that would also consume characters. You can undo the changes if you want to, but sure, that's a very great suggestion. And I think we can do something which can suggest 3 or 4 variations of, okay? That answered the question. If we can't leverage much of AI here, maybe we should connect outside. You should be able to leverage AI as much as you want in here. Like I said again, right? Like we're building out that full-fledged capabilities with the same engine that all GPT-3 people use out there in the market. So it's still, digging into that same data, but it will improve with us over the period of time because we have Serp analysis and the data attached with it. So I think our AI will evolve quite further than some of our counterparts.
Matthias is asking, when are the tags leaving the editor?
Oh, meta title and meta description. We have to find a creative way to get them out. And we are hoping that when we release our WordPress and WordPress plugin, that's when we'll change it, because then we can make that change. We need to work on it. So right now we're focusing on giving you guys something that can speed up your content creation process. And then we'll start improving your experience even further.
Felix is saying outranking content research plus conversion.ai is a perfect combination. If you can bring conversion.ai long form feature into this platform, you will skyrocket.
Absolutely. So that's what we wanted to suggest when I showed that demo. Our write long is going to be long form editor, but you're going to have to build out sections by section, and that's going to be the only difference.
Georgia is saying AI rewriting in Spanish doesn't have quality results from my experience. Sometimes change only one word, sometimes none.
Yeah, it's possible. So that's why we launched languages in beta. It's extremely difficult to find some libraries that can do some rewriting and especially train the AI to do some rewriting. So we're working on it. And as in when we go, it understands tons of data from the inputs. It will get better and it will start rewriting, significantly better over the course of time.
Alrighty, I don't see any new questions. Pankil, do you see anything that we haven't answered yet?
No, like Felix Lim asked, tell us something exciting feature in the roadmap. What is more exciting than ability to build out content from your outlines within the platform, ability to create featured snippets, ability to answer questions, ability to collect statistical data? There's limitations that are endless. Here.
But maybe let's ask Felix. Felix, just drop it. What would you like to see more exciting, or on top of this, what else would you like to see? And hey, We're all ears. Awesome. Kevin is asking, does the character limit, does it only apply to the AI rewrite, or does it also apply to the article content created within Outranking?
So right now, since we are in beta, it does not apply to AI write. It does not apply to content creation. Soon as we go out of beta for that particular feature, it will be counted towards the characters.
Awesome. It looks like those are all the questions. If there is something that we have not answered one more time, just feel free to drop it here. Otherwise, it was a great session. Lots of questions. Many more people joined us. Matthias is asking last question. Is Tarkan the brother of Serkan? I don't know who Tarkan is.
Tarkan is a famous singer.
I see.
Okay.
Well, apparently, Serkan, you may try and sing here, and then you'll prove whether you are brother or not. How the credits are calculated, Michael is asking.
So okay, it's based on unique search. So let's say if you search for dog and create a document, then you go and search for dog in Serp analysis, then you go and search for dog in questions, it's 1 credit. But if you search for dog and then you search for cat somewhere else, it's going to be 2 credits. So credits are based on how many documents, Serp analysis, and questions you create on unique basis. And I think like if you are on the pro plan, 200 should be significant enough for you to do some trial and error, test it out, like, some keywords might not work and things like that. So that's how they are calculated.
Awesome. Kevin is asking, what about content we write into content field? Will this be taken out of character limit?
No, absolutely not.
No. Kellen is asking, are you planning to build a keyword clustering tool such as Keyword Cupid?
Maybe, but again, our focus right now is on the workflow and creating that content piece that really ranks, and then the ease of how you go about doing it. What happens with clustering, and we're still working in it. So we have topic coverage that does a linear cluster, but what you're talking about is a topic cluster. You still have to go and find some ideas from it and put them together, right? So we'll get to it, but it's not on the immediate roadmap.
Awesome. Someone's asking for a link to the lifetime deal. I dropped the link. And there was one question. I purchased the 99 deal. Oh, by the way, Reid, someone was asking about your link. Reid dropped the link for additional information there. And by the way, I think you're still sharing your screen.
Sure, I can pause that.
I purchased the lifetime deal, the $99 lifetime deal. I wanted to upgrade to $199. Is that possible?
Easiest way to get that done is go ahead and change the plan, buy the $199 one, and immediately after that, you will get a refund for the $99.
How about document change history? Planning to add that in the next version update?
Absolutely. It's coming up in the next release as well with the AI writing features. And the history will be triggered based on some important events that you do and perform in the editor. So you'll be able to track who made those changes in your team, what time those changes were made, what changes were made, as well as a way to retrieve them back.
Can you add sub-users?
Sub-users?
Yep. I'm
not sure what a sub-user means. Well, we have team feature. So you can add your team in that.
Alex, if you just clarify what you mean by sub-user, or if that answers your question.
So I can show some, so people had tons of questions on how the team feature works. So I'll just quickly show how you can go about doing it. So let's go to settings. You go to your team member. What we've done is we've added a feature to allocate quota to each team member. So we understand that you guys might be working with VAs and distance team, and you don't want them to use as many documents. So you can assign that quota of character and documents and save it. And that person will only get that kind of limit. Also, what we did was, if you go to SEO content, you can now assign each file to a person. So you in your team. So as an admin, you'll be able to see all the documents that your teams are creating. But let's say within your team, if they are sharing among themselves, or you want to specifically share among one of the VAs or something like that, you can go and manually add them and give them edit or view rights. And they should be able to see all of those documents and shared with me. So yeah, that's what we build out. We'll build out some foldering structure, and that's also on the roadmap.
How to delete a document.
So right here, if you delete the document, it will go to archive. And the reason why it's going to archive is because we want to maintain the history of what you are doing. Like, you might want to maintain the history of what you're doing. What often happens is that people delete the documents, or you make the searches, and then they'll be wondering, like, where did my credits go? So it's one great way to go back. But if you archive the document and then you create a new one, it's going to be a new research, because it's going to pull out all the data again. It's going to scrape all the pages again. It's going to pull backlinks again. It's going to do everything again. Okay. Does that help? My screen then. Okay. Any other questions?
Do we get credits back if you archive the document?
No, you don't get credit. It's the research already done, right? The money's already spent.
Anything else to add, Pankil?
No, I think this is great, guys. So, be here for the long haul. We're making some very incredible improvements and, going faster than, not fast enough than you guys expect us to, but we're trying everything that we can to go fast enough and launch all of these features and get platform to the capability where it would take you as little as time possible to generate outlines, fill in the content, optimize it for SEO, and start ranking.
Last question. What are some tools and AI writing tools that you guys are using that you think you would love for our ranking to integrate with? Because this is something that we are considering right now. So if you drop a few tools that you love and you would love for us to integrate with, this is something that we'll do. We'll take a screenshot and we'll go to those companies and say, hey, see, your people want to do something with us. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. This was a great session. We're keeping that under 1 hour. Reid, one more time, thank you so much for all of your help and all of your support. And we will see you again next week.